It's the Benz Brunani womanist. Baby boys, baby girls, you need to hear this. If you sit down, receive this realness. Make sure your cup's ready for the tea, we are go sip it, yo. Hard time scrolling for your long shorts. You might learn something you never know. Collect you fine, and she's one of a kind. Don't say you're mine, say you're mine.
Come on, baby, turn the lights off, let's get naked. Naked. Come on, baby girl, you know I just can't take it. I can't take it no more. Let your panties hit the floor. Let your body steal the show right now. Make sure she's of age. Come on. These age gaps are getting very fucking weird. I can't take it no more. We'll get into that later. We will get into that later, but it is me. Let me tell you something. I did this by myself. Like, when I had to send that video, the video of last week's episode to Brent, when I tell you WeTransfer took 6 hours. I think it's my internet connection as well, because I switched up internet connections, and it was the most useless decision I've ever made. Before I even get into that, it is me, Kelechi, in the place to be, and you are listening / watching SYM, officially known as Say Your Mind, unofficially known as what? That's right, Suck Your Mum. And it is me. I'm back in the place to be. Like I said, switching to that Ross Clark community fiber. I don't know. It's the community of mad people. It's a community of wayward individuals, because I could literally walk the data to where the data needs to get to, and I will get there quicker than that community fiber network. What the fuck? Anyway, so last week when I had to send the file to Brent, it took me like 6 hours. I said, God forbid, never again. Never, ever again. I don't like to do anything for 6 hours straight. There is nothing that you can present to me that I'll be like, boom, 6 hours, yeah, sure, let's fucking do it. No. So that's why I don't, when they start talking about, we're making love until the sun comes up, baby, I just want to take it nice and slow. You better speed up. You better speed up. About tell me, do you want to get freaky? I want you to move quickly. Okay? Get it together. Okay? I don't want to do anything for 6 hours. Talk less of sending a fucking file. But then I realized I put 2 + 2 together and I actually got the correct answer. So yeah, I found a way. And basically we can just all agree that I'm a baby girl. That's it. That's all. Like 2 slaps on my chest to me, because this week, when I tell you I have been a woman in STEM, okay? I really, really have. From migrating all of my email accounts from 123.reg that decided that they wanted to be mad people, managed to I'm cussing all of them today, but they need to be put on blast because they're all wayward. And don't worry, Virgin Atlantic, I'm coming for you next, you pussy clarts. What comes to you next? Anyway, I migrated all the email accounts for my businesses across my businesses, Pole Dance Studio, my Kelechi, the Kelechi, all of that stuff. Migrated all of those. Why did I migrate all of those accounts? Because like I said, 123 was moving mad. But then when I posted in my stories like, any tips or anyone that can help me with migrating these email accounts, because my emails weren't getting through to people. Anyone that can help me to do this stuff, be greatly appreciated. Of course, I'm aware that I would have to pay. Somebody suggested the person now said that they want £85 an hour. I said, yeah. Put your hands up, bend your knees, turn around in a circle, run with me. Oh, come on. It's not hard to learn. It's called Cosy Lives. The cost of living. I had to do that U-turn. Instantly, my brain figured out how I was going to do that thing, because not me, not I. Let me tell you, £85 an hour, and I don't even know how many hours it's going to take you, because you might be doing that till the sun comes up. Baby, you just want to take it nice and slow. Not on my invoice. Not on my invoice. So not doing any of that. Managed to migrate everything successfully, although Google Workspace, or whatever the fuck you want to call them, now want me to pay for that through my asshole. But we live, and indubitably we learn. Okay? Yes. So I've been doing all of the things, all techie. So I don't know whether Uranus was opposing something or doing something in my life, in my work life, touching my Venus, my money, something, in my second house. It was doing something, because I was on the ropes. And then when it came to now recording this, I had to figure out how to do it, because I'm not sending a stupid file for 6 hours. Nothing is worth that. And I figured it out. And I added some lights. I added some zhuzh. I'm getting there. I've asked a baby girl to help me do some other bits to make all of this look cute. But instantly, just adding a bit of lights. Big up yourself, Jonathan. I have to big up Jonathan. He has been my angel through all of this, like really helping me do bits. So if anything looks nicer, cuter on YouTube, that's all Jonathan. Okay? So henceforth, the video version of the podcast will come out at 11:11 a.m. on YouTube. It will premiere on YouTube at 11:11, and then I think on Spotify and everywhere else that you listen to the podcast, it'll come out at, I want to say 1313. It'll come out, or maybe I'll do 1212. You know, I just love my numbers. I think it might be fair to do 1212. I don't want to keep you lot waiting. So we'll say 1212 London time. The audio comes out by 11:11. The video version of the podcast will premiere on YouTube. But I feel invigorated. I feel great. Like, I did it. We did it, Joe. Not that Joe and Jill. Jack and Jill. Joe and Jill. Tell your wife to calm down. You don't always have to celebrate losers just because they're white. Yeah, let the actual winner or the actual winners have their things. Not everything is about sharing. Okay. I'm just looking at these plantain crisps that I've got here, or as you Caribbean people like to say, plantain. But I'm not going to eat it, because this is an ASMR crunching down the mic, and I absolutely dislike people chewing when they're on the phone to me. I hate it. So I wouldn't want to put anybody in that situation. So I'll save the plantain crisps for later. Funny though, you know, when they talk about natural like assimilation, or how you assimilate in certain environments, whenever I go to a takeaway, like a Caribbean takeaway, I instantly say plantain, because I do not want to be flogged outside of that. I don't want to be flogged out of that place just because I wanted to get small oxtail and rice and peas, and I mispronounced one word. Everybody now starts dragging me and tearing my siglet. Nah, could never. So whenever, you know, when in Rome, say plantain, you know, like, make sure. That might be the title if I remember it. Sometimes I come up with good titles in the episode and then I've forgotten it by the time I finish recording. But yeah, that is that. Woman in STEM, big up me. But then that's another thing as well, because I can do a lot of things. I just don't have the time to do a lot of things. That's why I try to delegate the things that need to be done. But sometimes you delegate and people just don't do what you need them to do. So all of it becomes just very, very mad. But it's best to understand that with me, I could do it, but I would prefer for somebody else to do it. So I have more time to do the things that I actually want to do. But that's by the by. What did you do this week? Baby girls, baby boys, baby non-binaries. What have you been up to? I went to see 4 black boys who have considered suicide when the hue gets too heavy. This is my second time seeing it. The first time I saw it at the Royal Court Theatre, and then it got transferred to the Apollo Theatre in West End, and I'm super happy for them. I love those actors. Like the cast of 4 black boys, I really, really love them. I have like a baby crush because obviously he's very, very young, like I guess much younger, but he's just so cute. What's his name? You thought I was going to say it. I love to troll. Oh, yeah. Well, no. But no, they're lovely, lovely actors. I do feel directorially, the second part of the second half, because it's a long play, it's like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, sorry. But you have an interval in between. The second half of the second half, I do feel like the emotions could be tempered a bit more, especially because the subject matter is so harrowing. It would just be great if there was a slight toning down of the overt expression of emotion. Because what I think is that we go to, like, I don't know, 95, and then we stay there for a really, really long time. And I think that there is a way to convey sadness, to convey trauma, to convey all of these things by when we bring the volume down on something. But that's just me and my personal preference. That doesn't take away from the fact that it is a brilliant, brilliant play. And I suggest that everybody go watch it, because it was so lovely to see so many Black people in the audience, like all of us coming out of the theatre, like catching up with each other. That's a mood. Like, when they say like Black people don't go to the theatre, yeah, because you're not showing anything that we want to see. And when you do put on things that we would want to see, you don't market it properly. And I want to know why they do that. The theatre industry does that. Publishing does that as well, where you'll put money into something by a Black author or by a Black creator, and then when it's time for you to promote it, it's like you hate them. It's like you actually hate them, because it doesn't make sense how little marketing and backing you put into a lot of these things. It doesn't. Because when the white authors are writing about living in towns and falling in love at the secondhand shop, they've got out of home marketing to us. You can't walk 2 minutes without seeing a poster for their shit. But our own, you now have to go and give your blood in a vial. And then you now have to dig and dig and dig to the 7th corner of the earth's core before you discover that, oh, this person actually has a book out. Like, please, people, do better. Do better. Is that all I did? No, I'm sure I did other cute bits, but I really can't remember. Did I already talk about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese? Probably not, because my days get muddled. Bad girl, don't run away now. Wanna make your pom pom my playground. Big tune. Bad girl. One Day Cole really did something on that track. Why am I hitting the mic? Let me see my notes, because I actually can't remember what I did. No, that's all I put down that I did. Anyway, might as well move on to tarot then, because I'm not going to be stressing my head. I'm going to pick a letter at random. Let's see. Closing my eyes. Let's see if I land on an actual tarot question. That's the one. Spirit. Let's go. What's this one? No, that's not even... That's a So You Mad. God, that didn't work. Bloody hell. I'm just going to pick the first one I see. And there's so many that I probably need to go all the way back to the people I've missed out. Who do I want to speak to today? I've been doing tarot readings. In case you missed it, I put out slots, and I had to put out slots. Why? Because Virgin Atlantic, I told you I was going to say that they're mad. Virgin Atlantic are on some bullshit. Absolute bullshit. My God. And this is what I'm saying, that there's clearly been something with me and technology, whether it's aviation or whatever the fuck, because I needed to change my flight so I could come back earlier from New York. Again, oh my God, wow, let's really take it in. The New York live show is on Thursday. Woo! Wow. I will have a live show in New York. Okay. Wow. Sorry, I needed a moment. So looking forward to that. Very much so. Oh, sorry. And then I won. Look at my mind. My mind is just, it's labyrinth. I won the politics category at the Limitless Black Influencers Award. And I'm really happy about that. It was me, Stephanie Yoboa, Akala, and June Sarpong that were in that category, and I won. So thank you to all of the people that voted for me, a baby girl, just a baby girl in a baby world. Woo! Just a baby girl, and your baby girl got the things. And I love why am I even, I've got my award. Why am I trying it like I don't have the award? Wait 1 second. Let's get this over. Look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? A whole me, politics winner 2023. And these things are important. Why? Because when I'm finally running, whichever country it is, we will know from whence I started. And I started before 2023, but the accolades, let them keep coming in. And I just think that, again, we should take a moment for that. Let's take a moment for the fact that in every field I found myself in, fitness, what if you want to call it influencing, whatever the hell, podcasting, and now, focusing, well, all of my things have really focused on societal political issues for a long time, but for some reason, this politics category comes up the more that I actually do want to talk about politics and things in this country. All of those categories I've received an award for. And so at this point, it is imperative that we refrain from saying that I have range and call it what it is, which is, a heightened version of what the others have, which is rangé. Yeah? Rangé. Look at the levels. Look at the difference. Range, and I'm here. I'm here at rangé. Okay? Thank you so much. Thanks. But no, honestly, I appreciate you all because I wouldn't have actually won any of those things if it wasn't for your ongoing support. And I really, really appreciate it. So I guess the next one is publishing, innit? Coming for the head tops in publishing. Because when Edge of Here lands, when Edge of Here touches road, you better fucking be prepared. You better fucking be prepared. Okay? I want to see films of it. I want to see series. I want to see the things. Okay? Whew. But I'm proud. I'm proud of me. I'm proud of me. I've had, like I said, I've had periods where I've just felt a bit blah, a bit down. But then there's that reminder that people are loving this. And I love that people are loving this. But anyway, let's move from the positivity and go back to the pussyclarts that are Virgin Atlantic. So I needed to change my flight to come back early because I got something going on. And I call them and I'm like, need to come back earlier. They quote me one mad amount. And I'm like, is that your last? Jale. That's your last. That's your last. Turning into my mum. That's your final offer. They said, yeah, madam, that's it. So I was like, oh, I've got to pay it then. And immediately, I felt nauseous. So I called back. And no, I spoke to Sadiq. And remember that Sadiq has his son in my 12th house. So Sadiq will always see the things or show me things that I hadn't previously considered. So I spoke to Sadiq and I told him how much I had to pay to change my flight to come back earlier. And he was like, oh, sis. And whenever, let me tell you something. Whenever Sadiq says, oh, sis, you just know, he's so disappointed. He's like, you raggedy hoe. You raggedy, stupid hoe. He's like, oh, sis, have you actually looked up what a single ticket would have cost to come back from New York? Just buying a single from New York to London. I went and looked. And again, when I tell you the world was I'm spinning around, move out of my way. I spent some fucking shit on the stupid ticket. Ha! I looked and it was in fact much, much cheaper to have just left my ticket as it was before and bought a single to come back from New York. So I call Virgin and I'm like, please, sir, return my money. I've just changed this flight a couple of hours ago. Can you just change it back to what it was? those motherfuckers told me, no, and we could change it back, but you're not getting your money back if we change it back. Like, your money's now gone. But what do you mean? Because I'm just going back to the flight that I was originally on that was part of what? They're like, yeah, no, the money's gone. But as a gesture of goodwill, we won't charge you a £50 change fee if you don't fuck off. If you do not fuck, wow, fuck off. So I was like, what? And do you know what I had to do? This is going to sound so mad. Stay with me. I had to get my mum to call for me because, you know, like, the Western world has fucked a lot of us up in very obvious ways and in other ways that we don't even realize. I cannot lose it. I cannot while out on some of these customer service people the way that I would like to while out on them, because I've actually worked in customer service before. I've worked in call centers, whatever. So I can't do it. But you know who can? My mommy. My mommy can. So I had to get my mum to call and do the whole, what do you mean? You have to give me my money back today. You must give me my money. What nonsense is this? Go and get your manager on the phone. You are crazy. You are crazy. This is how you know that Virgin Atlantic is mad, because when you have to get your Nigerian mum to get involved in something, that usually means you get your thing back. Then man turned around and they were like, sorry, miss. Sorry, we really appreciate how distressing this is for you, but we won't be able to give you the money back. Then I was like, look, if getting my Nigerian mum involved is not going to do the thing, you know what is? Give me my refund. Just refund me my money and I'll go and buy a brand new ticket for the actual date that I want. Yes, we'll charge you a £230 cancellation fee for that. What do you mean? Because you're still going to be able to sell that flight. You're still going to be able to sell that seat. Why are you such thieves? Richard, why are your people stealing? Richard, let my money go. Give me my money back. Give me my money back. So I just had to take that L. Like, they're going to give me my ticket fare back minus however much. And then I went and booked another ticket. It's just been a shit show. But the dress I plan to wear is very cute. So, you know, I'll just have to sometimes in life, you just have to take the L when the L is being taken. I think Mercury moved into Taurus as well. I could be wrong. And that is my second house of money. So Mercury really made me see how my communications regarding money, and Venus being there as well. She was like, oh, baby, I'm going to help you out, but I hope you're learning lessons and you learn how to buy tickets better, because this is not this kind of behavior, this kind of like lack of foresight is not what I want for you, baby. So, you know, when you know better, hopefully you do better. And I plan to. Ooh, so yeah, that was a whole lot. Then I was just like, you know what I need to do to balance this all out? I need to get my money back in some way. And instantly Spirit was like, yeah, you're going to have to do the thing that you were holding off of doing when we were telling you to do it. Go and read for people. So I put the slots out and lo and behold, boom, all the slots went. And I've been having the best time. Don't get it twisted. Reading for people absolutely exhausts me. My lower back, I've told you this before, my lower back really, really hurts after I've done a couple of readings. So my back has been hurting. So I need to like have more like salt baths and things like that to help with it. But yeah, I've enjoyed every person I've read for so far. There are so many similarities. Like, I can't tell you how mad it is when I'm reading for people and the person I just read for has a similar placement in their chart. And if it's not that exact placement, they're going through something. There's an aspect that's triggering like the same sort of narrative in their own life. And I feel like everybody gravitates towards the people that are like them. So I was reading for people and I could see them as mirrors of aspects of myself. And I love that. I love that for me. So going forward, I will not be so stingy with these tarot readings. Every other month, I'll try to put a few slots in, because I was just going for ages, put in no slots. But I'll try to put a few slots in. Oh, I've really talked, and I didn't even choose a tarot question. You know me. You know me. Let's see. Oh, I'm just going to go with this one. What's this one? Hi, Kelechi. I've listened to your podcast since 2020 and grateful for what you've done with this medium. It's nice to have a space in my life for reassurance that life is messy in the weirdest ways. It's also to know that I'm not alone trying to figure out who I am, even at my age, from the stories shared over the years by listeners and guests alike. I also have a question for the tarot. How does one handle the emotional fallout from standing up for themselves? A little context. I'm in a rough patch with a friend I've known for close to a decade now. In the summer of 2022, she expressed that she didn't feel like I was excited enough for her new job, as she'd been struggling with finding stable employment for years. When we went out for lunch, I've been dealing with my own stuff at the time, including finding a new therapist. So I was depressed, but wanted to see her even for a little while. The next day, she requested to talk to me, but didn't disclose the real reason why was to clear the air on the issue. Or she didn't disclose the real reason why was to clear the air on the issue. She said that the friendship was imbalanced and she felt like she'd become the therapist friend, so to speak, and mentioned a lot of stuff from years prior that she never brought up before. I listened to her talk, and after she finished, I apologized for not being there for her. The one thing that bothered me, though, is that she made it seem like nothing was wrong at first and then launched into her concerns with me, basically springing it onto me out of nowhere. I did express my concerns about that, and she said she'd avoid that in the future. Okay. Sorry, this part I can't read out online, but I'm just reading it in my head. Okay. Cool. So now we're back. So it's been a few months, and in fall/winter of 2022, I sent a message a month for 3 months with no reply from her end. I feel like I'm being ignored, and it really pisses me off, because that conversation we had, she said she still wanted me to feel comfortable to talk to her, yet she's ignoring me. It hurts, but I'm at a point where I'm not going to beg to be in someone's life. Something similar to this situation has happened to me twice before, but those were more obvious situations of people ghosting me when I suggest to talk out the issue. So my question is, where do I go from here? There was a song there, but I'm not. Where do I go from here? There's nothing for me to fear. Across the darkness, a light shines, burning through the coldest nights, and we can find a way. Together we'll make it. We take. What was that series? It was the series where all of the young people had survived. There was some kind of virus, lol, and the adults died, but the young people were alive. And they used to wear furs. And there was like a biracial girl that was like a prominent, like villainy type of character. And she used to have like red makeup on her face. I can't remember. But it was Australian? I think it was Australian. Imagine, I know some of the words to the theme tune, but I don't actually remember what that. I want to say it was something like Lost Ones, but it wasn't. The Wild One. No, it wasn't. You lot will say. You'll scream it in the comments. Yeah, I can't remember. Anyway, back to this letter. I'm so sorry. I divested from what we were talking about here. So my question is, where do I go from here? My friendships mean a lot to me, as I've never had a romantic relationship, which is embarrassing, and I'm reluctant to be vulnerable to new people right now. Please see my attached birth chart, as the time is approximate. My sun is in Aries. Thanks again for reading this essay. Oh, well, I just realized this second email. I forgot to mention a few things. I'm 30, pronouns are she, her, and I've known this friend during some tough times when they've been there for me and vice versa. Okay, thank you for that update. People, when you send me your birth charts, please don't use CoStar. Yeah, use astro-charts.com or something like that. That's easier for me. CoStar just is so difficult to read. But let's get into it. Oh. So yeah, you've had, I can't even guess which house this is. I want to say this is your 4th house. This is your 4th house that you've got Aries. Yeah, I think it's like your 4th house that you've got Aries. Like a lot has been happening. Oh, you've got Jupiter directly opposing your Mars in Aquarius. And then you've got Saturn in Aquarius. So you've just had your Saturn return. And then you've got your moon in Capricorn. You're saying to me that your rising is like one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Aries, I think, is your 5th house. I hate the way that they've done this. Anyway, that's by the by. What we do know that's happening at the moment, let me tell you, is that Chiron is in Aries. So Chiron is in the same house as your sun, as your natal sun and Mercury. So, and we are now essentially, I'm really putting my foot on this table. Anyway, we are now in Aries season, eclipse season. So a lot of fated things are about to happen. If you come across people with Aries placements, Libra placements, just know that they've come to trigger you to Ras. That's Libra or Aries, rising, sun, moon. Like there's some kind of thing that they've come to show you about a childhood wounding. And it might be very, very healing for you based on the particular path that you yourself are currently on, or where you are on your path. It might be very, very healing, or it might be extremely triggering. But what you need to understand in all of that is that you are loved, that you are worthy, that you are in fact whole. You are not broken. Things being shown to you is purely to allow you to work through whatever is there that is holding you back from being the most fullest like version of yourself. Why am I whacking my arm? So let's get your tarot. So I said all of that because Chiron is there. So it's like this stuff is happening, and you said it's happened to you twice before. So it's coming back round again, and then you've had your Saturn return. So there are lots of things I feel like it's not always just during the Saturn return that things are shown to you. I think it's as you're coming out of it as well, getting to see certain things about yourself and dynamics that you need to take into account. I don't really approve of how your friend behaved, like just like ignoring you like that. I don't really like it. I mean, but then I'm a hypocrite. Hypocrite, not even hypocrite. Because if I am done with someone and I just don't want to talk anymore, then I'm not talking anymore in it. It is what it is. So I don't like that. I just don't, like, if you lot were friends like that, I just think it's a bit mad to do that. But she might have felt like that is the thing that she needed to do for her own mental health. Like maybe it's just been like a lot for her. So, you know, who am I to say anything really? But I just think that a lot of these things can be worked out with actually communicating. I know that you communicated in the sense that she told you, you know, what she had an issue with and everything else. But like you said, it's like she's been holding in for a really, really long time. And that's sometimes really scary when someone starts going, and then in 1972, like imagine before you were born, like you did this and then you did this and you were like, rah, what? So yeah, it can feel painful when they bring up all of those things, but at least you recognize that she has been there for you. And sometimes people just get very, very tired, and who knows all the other things that she's got going on. Her pointing out that you didn't seem excited for her getting a job after she'd been looking for a job for a while. I feel like it speaks to a lot of the ways that maybe she feels unseen in other areas in her life, and she's projecting it onto you. Like, yeah, maybe you could have been more excited, but like you had your own things going on as well. So I think empathy was needed on both sides in that situation to understand that sometimes shit is just happening and people don't have the capacity to celebrate us in a way that we would like. But if we feel like generally in our lives, people aren't celebrating us enough, then it will exacerbate what we feel about that particular situation. And I can say that from, you know, a personal perspective, like when I got my book deals or whatever, when I handed in my manuscript, when so many things have happened, like little, like to various points, milestones have happened. And I've really felt like, what friends are these? Like, where's my surprise party? Where's my this? Where's my that? Like, but having to understand that, if you've been listening to your friends, you understand that your friends are going through things as well. And babes, Cosy lives. Cosy lives. Just because Jesus lives, because I'm recording this on Easter Sunday, doesn't mean that Cosy lives. It's also a factor. I mean, some of my friends are ballers, so they could do better. But, you know, just generally speaking, it's not really for them. It's like, what are the triggers for me and feeling that my needs aren't met? Where is that wounding rooted? Childhood, feeling unmothered, all of these things. So I have to take accountability for the fact that what I'm desiring or yearning for doesn't necessarily mean that the people around me are going to be able to do that or fulfill that, because they've got their own things going on and everybody is trying to nurse their own wound. And sometimes that means that they have to go away to do it because, and it's going to sound mad, stay with me, if they're trying to nurse their wound around you, they can risk cross-contamination. So people do remove themselves. But if you're going to do that, I do believe you could just say, like, look, I think that we need some space from each other. Let me just go and sort myself out and then I'll holler back. No Gwen Stefani, at a later point. So the cards that come out for you, for the fact that you're asking about, like, how does somebody deal with, you know, essentially just not getting closure. I would say, based on the cards that come out, we've got the King of Coins. So I'll just show you that first. How do you get closure when somebody you feel has ghosted you, whether it's a friend or whomever? Can you see that? King of Coins. I'm using the Kaleidodope deck. It's about knowing your worth. You don't know your worth. Hey. All the things I know that you deserve. Tune. You have to know your worth, because we've got the Knight of Wands here and lots of like masculine energy. We've got the Knight of Wands there as well. Carnelian is the image on it. So a black hand holding a red carnelian wand. And you mentioned having not been in a relationship ever. And it's nothing to be embarrassed about. I really don't think it's anything to be embarrassed about. I mean, I know that there are people who are in wonderful relationships, but I can tell you that there are lots of people who are dealing with the absolute gutter. You are not missing out on much. Take your time. Take your time. But you do need to meet your own needs. That's what's coming through here. I feel like even before we talk about your friendships and the closure or lack thereof, you're being asked here, what is happening to your own like sensual, sexual energy? It feels like a lot of you is repressed. A lot of you, a lot of your fire, your passion is really dampened. And I think that work situations and things like that could like impact us all. But Six of Cups is also out here in reverse, and it shows us, you know, those tin cans that you add a string to and then you can use it to communicate. Just show you that there. We've got the Six of Cups in reverse, and then we've got the Knight of Swords in reverse there as well. So much passion. I don't know. I'm getting a vibe here, right? And I'd say trigger warning at this point in case somebody wants to skip ahead. But I get the vibe here that there was some kind of, I don't know whether it was abuse or whatever, but there was a way that you felt unsafe around men when you were growing up. This seems like it's not even linked to what you've just asked in the tarot question, but it's coming up, so I have to say it. Yep, and I've got Knight of Cups here at the bottom of the deck as well. There's something here about something from when you were younger and a man, something like that. And just feeling unsafe. And it's made you really fearful, really, really fearful. I'm just like letting the message sit in my body because I'm actually feeling it in my body, like feeling really fearful and reluctant to engage with people because there is a deep, like distrust there. And I hear it. These are things that I also came to realize in therapy as well. So I say all of that because it seems like you're trying to work through what these things are. And they are very complicated, challenging emotions and feelings. And sometimes friends really can't help with that. Like friends are not, even friends that are therapists, friends are still not your therapists, right? And it might be a lot for people to hold for you because even as I'm feeling it in my body, that is a lot to hold for somebody. And that is not to say that you don't deserve for people to hold it for you. It has to be the right environment though. Otherwise, you're repeating the pattern of feeling unsafe. People treat us how they treat us, not because of who we are, but because of who they are. Your friend needed to go, take her time, do what she's doing. That's fine. But even then I'm getting like, is she friend or is she friend? Is she like your friend? Like your friend. But I don't know. Anyway, carrying on. There's a lot there. It's not so much about this friend. It feels like it's more of a childhood thing where you felt at some point somebody left and they didn't say and they just left. And it's allowing yourself the space to grieve that. Because yes, how your friend did what she did and how the couple of other people who have behaved in the same way did what they did is mad. But there's something that what I'm getting from the tarot is that for you, it is deeper than that. Somebody left or somebody didn't protect you or somebody wasn't there. And so this situation is bringing you or bringing thoughts to the fore that you don't really have protection now that this friend isn't there to listen, that this friend isn't there to be your friend. I say from looking at the cards, you need to gather your heart and go. You know what? Let's use the Hidden Truth deck, the Hidden Truth Oracle as well to see what your friend would say if they just replied to the fucking message instead of ignoring you. Because I really don't think that that's nice. But everyone has their reasons for their things. What would your friends say to you about this situation? Why are they not responding to you right now? The Hidden Truth. Oh, we got a card. We got it. We got a jumper. Got a jumper. Oh, we've got, I remember every detail of that day. I don't know how clear that is. I remember every detail of that day. And we've got, I lost myself a little. I lost myself for a little while. So it's like I said, I feel like, oh, and then at the bottom of the deck, we've got, I know I messed up everything. I don't even think your friend is very comfortable even saying that they felt that way about the things that had happened. So, like sometimes when you air your grievances with somebody, you feel mad awkward afterwards. Like, you just feel awkward. So I think that an aspect of it could be that for her. Like, she just feels awkward after bringing it up. As well as she's feeling very lost right now. She's She's not as content as she thought she would be getting this new job. She thought that that would be the magic wand that would change a lot of things for her in her life, and it hasn't really done that. So she's looking at the people who haven't celebrated in the way that she wants, when actually, like I said earlier, oh, thank you, Spirit. I said that she was projecting how she feels onto you, right? But it's also because it's not panning out how she was hoping. She's not feeling that excited. So she's projecting how unexcited she feels about this new thing that she thought was going to change everything onto you by being you weren't as excited for me as you should have been. So like I'm saying, everybody's nursing their own wounds. She's looking to be seen. Right, she's looking to be seen. And sometimes when you are the friend that somebody comes to and you feel like you're the therapist, you generally feel unseen. You feel like they come through, they say whatever they need to say, and then you talk it out with them, and then they go, and then you're still there with all of your woes, right? So I feel like that's where she is. And I don't know about the other people, but just using this as an example, you can see clearly that she's dealing with some wounds that she's trying to work through. And then you're dealing with some wounds where it's just like, how is another person leaving? And this is why I can't trust people. And this is why I don't get into romantic relationships, because imagine somebody doing this to you and then rah, 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 rah. And then you're adding all of these things on top of it. You've got to let those stories go. And I think that that's what this eclipse season is going to do for you. You've got to let those stories go. Like, you've just got to throw yourself out there. Like, people will leave. People are allowed to leave. And I'm saying that to you as somebody that, yeah, it is very, very frustrating if like you're trying to get communication out of people and they're not they're not being forthright with that communication or direct. But anyway, I'm the queen of blocking. I just like block. Like, so I am the person. Yeah, I am the person. So you're asking the person that doesn't allow for the closure. Right? And I'm telling you that happens from my perspective, from a space of I'm going to jump before I'm pushed type of vibe. Even if nobody's pushing me, they like, I'm great, whatever. I'll be like, no, I'm sensing danger. Block, blockety, block, 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 block. And that's not a way to live life. We all need to do better. Yeah. So I'm telling you as somebody that has denied people, quote unquote, closure, that people are going through their own shit, and it's their own wounds that makes them act out in the way that they act out. And this is why essentially people can't, even the idea of closure in certain regards, therapists might disagree with me. I don't know. It is still that thing of like externalizing your needs. Ultimately, they can't really give you closure. They can't really give it to you. Right? And some people, because there's this illusion that people think that they can give it to you, they try to withhold it from you, and they doing all of these things. It still comes down to you. They can say the words. It still comes down to you to be at peace with that. So is there a way that you can assume that they've said it, or you can imagine or reframe it that you've gotten what you need? Like, think of how you'd feel if you got what you wanted to get from them. And then just feel that. It sounds mad simple, but at the end of the day, we do at some point have to start controlling some of the things that our mind does, and it telling us that we need this. We need this. Otherwise, without this, we're incomplete. So complete. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, you're complete with or without this friend of yours ever hollering back at you. You're complete. You are whole. Should she come back, I hope she explains why she just aired all of your messages. But then there's a likelihood that she could come back and not address that, and then you're carrying that on your heart. Or are you going to address it? And then you guys are going back for round 2 of awkwardness. You got to think about it. What is it that you want? What is it that you want out of this situation? And then give yourself that. Yeah? And then draw a line under it. But definitely for you, there is this strong energy, apart from all of those things that's happening. You need to get into thinking about what you desire, what turns you on, what ignites passion in you, because you need more of that, baby. You need more. Anyway, that's that for the tarot. So I might as well big up the first of this week's show sponsor, who are they? Wine 52. I will be right back. So this week's sponsor is Wine 52, like I said. And who doesn't love a bit of wine unless you don't drink, which is perfectly okay too. But for the people that love a drink, that love a cute bottle of wine, I am talking to you, right? You can have a bottle or a case of wine from Argentina for free. And you know, them Argentinian grapes are a little bit sexy. A little bit sexy. And I would say probably you want to get involved. So Wine 52, the babes at Wine 52 are offering you a case of exceptional wines from the historic region of Mendoza for free. All you need to do is go to www.wine52.com/straws and cover the postage cost of £8.95 and you'll get 3 bottles delivered right to your door. I've been with Wine 52 for a while. I have a great time. I want to have more dinner parties so I can have all this variety of wine for my people to get involved with. And I love it. And they're showcasing all that they're about, the very best of the wines that are available from different countries and different regions. And yeah, they just want you to be involved with all of that. So Argentinian Malbec has taken the wine world hostage with its fruity flavors, easygoing tannins, and undeniable ability to pair with very, very gorgeous food, especially like the spicy bits, bringing ancient grapes and a touch of Italic flair to its vineyards. The region's winemakers have produced some of the world's most delicious and iconic wines. So make sure that you read the Glug magazine that comes with your case of wine when you order it. And it will take you through the wines, the vineyards, all of that stuff, so you can talk about it like you know something about it. I just be drinking it, child. I don't know too much. So after your free case, you'll join the monthly wine club. There's no minimum commitment. And if it's not for you, you can pause or cancel at any time. You can have a choice of mixed or red only or white only cases. Also included are 2 tasty snacks as well. So remember, that's wine52.com/straws. That's wine, WINE 52.com/straws to claim your free case of delicious wine today. So go and get yourself involved with that. All right. So I guess let's get to share your magnificence. Well, okay. I think somebody sent a letter that I thought was very cute. I love disruption. I said that in my speech when I went to accept my award at the Limitless Awards. Let me see here. It says here, Dear Kelechi, please enjoy this story about July Black. I think it's July, not Julie Black. Basically, July Black was asked to sing the national anthem, and it's sung, as we know, in the US, that whole place, the US, Canada, all of them places. They usually sing the national anthem before the sports games. Do we sing it over here as well? I guess maybe we do. Anyway, that whole allegiance and loyalty test, whatever. So July Black risked the wrath of the white nationalists by changing the lyrics to the anthem. There was a big hullabaloo when it happened, as you might expect, but people have shown her a lot of support since the initial backlash. So she's now since been honoured she's been given an eagle feather and a blanket by the Assembly of First Nations after she amended the Canadian national anthem at the NBA All-Star Game in February. It says here, Canadian R&B singer July Black was honoured at an AFN Special Chiefs Assembly in Ottawa on Monday for making an appreciated tweak to the Canadian national anthem at the NBA All-Star Game in Salt Lake City, Utah in February. The Juno Award winner had swapped out one word in the anthem's usual opening line, "Oh Canada, our home and native land," and she changed it to "Oh Canada, our home on native land," to recognise the Indigenous people who lived on the land before European settlers. Black was presented with an eagle feather and wrapped in a blanket during a blanketing ceremony by AFN knowledge keepers and National Chief Roseanne Archibald. And I love that. The singer said she was grateful while holding back tears. "I didn't realise that my action would garner such a response," Black went on. On behalf of the Black community, I say we are one. We're better together. After the presentation of the blanket and feather, Black reprised her rendition of O Canada for the Assembly, again including Home on Native Land, which prompted cheers from the crowd. 2 slaps on your chest. My G. Because let us start telling history correctly. Because all the other shit that's happening is some bullshit. Our home and native land. Are you fucking mad? Justin Trudeau, are you all right? Is everything okay? Oh, Canada. I mean, fine. Okay, Justin, you didn't write the thing. But the fact that people keep singing it is pure insanity. Our home and native land. No, it's not. No, it's not. Not your native anything, baby. Remember where you come from. Your home on native land. Because it's even wild what, like I said a couple of weeks ago or last week, what's happening in Australia. Like, how are you helping yourself to the land of the indigenous people? And then you're saying that you're going to consider including them and their rights in your constitution. You and your constitution can get the fuck. Get the fuck. Get out. Get out. It is ridiculous. And settler states make me sick. Absolutely sick. It's just wild to me. So I'll get into Obama later. Probably I'm getting into Obama shortly. But 2 slaps on your chest, July Black, for doing that. Because she's right. As Black people who understand what it is to be displaced and to be oppressed and all of these things, it is ludicrous that we are not showing more support to the indigenous people of these lands and paying them the respect that they deserve. Because in real time, we saw them get just like taken apart, taken to pieces, like their whole communities, like displaced and disenfranchised and, you know, like just wrought with fuckery, all because of the colonizers that came to colonize them, whichever one it might have been. But we all know that Europe will always have a hand there. It is so sad. And the thing that we can do is start speaking truth to power. And this is very Pluto in Aquarius. I'll let you know that for now. Like, this is very Pluto in Aquarius. We have to start telling the truth and coming together as a collective to see each other, to witness our collective humanity, like to witness it for each other. And so then the powers that be can't just be like, oh, you lot are some idiots. Tell you that there's another crisis that you need to focus on to distract you and that the immigrants are coming to take your things. Once you start witnessing the humanity of the quote unquote immigrants, you'll see that your government, they're taking you for dickheads. So consider that is all I'm saying. Consider that. Anyway, let's get so mad because I need to get home and it's literally Easter Sunday and I want to eat a turkey leg. Do not dare to ask me how my plant-based journey is going right now because I will do what I need to do with the plants when I do it. Yeah, I won't be pressured by any motherfucking body. Okay, thanks so much. And you better be lucky because I suggest some great places to you while I'm still eating that carcass. But when I give it up, I won't have any suggestions for you. So be mindful. Be mindful. Mad. Well, I joked about it in the opening song about Marcus Houston and the person he's just married, the woman he's just married. And I think she's she's 22. Is she 22? He said he met her when she was 17. He said let me play it because I don't want to paraphrase and I need you to hear the wildness of it before I say what I want to say about the situazione, which is also known as the situation. Where is it? Let's see. This crazy guy. Here we go. Let me turn it up so you can hear it. Turn it up! No, God forbid. Chineke. What was I about to sing? God, save me. Here you go.
My wife's situation is a little different, you know, how we met, you know, through mutual friends and everything like that. You know, when I met my wife, she was 17. So, you know, we had no really conversation and no really connection until, she was of age, and it's people don't understand it. And I got a lot of course, I got a lot of backlash for marrying someone that was 19. And when we did finally start to talk, I was like, this woman is like me. And she was just like, when I would talk to her, she just, for one, we had a spiritual connection. And I feel like that's the most important thing. We both love God. We both love Jehovah. And that was key. And being able to start being around her and talking to her and talking to, like, we got it. We connected through music, and, her spirit, her kindness, her heart reminds me a lot of my mom. And just, we connected on so many different.
Well, Marcus Houston, what in the bump? I know that's not even your song, but what the hell? What is going on? She'll always be that girl. She's literally a girl. She's a girl. And the timeline isn't adding up. I'm so sorry, but I hate to be the one to point it out, but the timeline is it's just not adding up. So you met her, quote unquote, through mutual friends. Who? Barney the fucking dinosaur. Who? You are 40 years old. What mutual friends can you have with somebody that's 17? Marquise. What mutual friends can you have at your big age with a 17-year-old? And then you apparently waited, and then you just miraculously popped up when she was of age, as you put it, quote unquote, of age. And then you were married by the time she was 19. Really? You just went away, left her alone, and then just popped up. You had an alarm set on your phone. Pussy's legal. Be serious. Be fucking for real. And it's so funny to me that when men want to mess around and be mad and date someone very much younger than they are, they always talk about their spirit. Is that the only time that you lot know spirit? Even the most, like, homophobic people will know spirit when they want to date somebody who's much younger than they are, but they can't. So they can follow me here. They can't see how, when people are talking about, oh, I love this person, I love this person, I love this person for their soul, I love this person for their soul. But how can you love someone for their soul? It's a man and it's another man. What can you see in their soul? But then, when she's a cute young girl, then you can see her soul, you can see her spirit. Suddenly, you can shift the rules for yourself. Very wild. Very wild. Stop seeing the spirit of these young women. Leave their spirit alone. Because it sounds to me like, oh, she's so kind. And she reminds me of my mum. That feels Oedipal, but I won't go there. She reminds me of my mum. She's so kind. She is a child. Essentially, she's a child. I'm not saying she isn't a kind person. I'm not saying she isn't a lovely person. And we both share a love of Jehova. Jehova, it's not an age. Jehova is not the qualifier of an age bracket. Jehova does not allow you to transcend age brackets. I don't know what Abraham and all of them man were doing in the Bible. And there was another one, Greg or Gary, whatever his name was in the Bible. Like, they were moving mad in the Old Testament. I don't really know about all of them things there. What I'm saying is that Jehova cannot absolve you of the age difference. So bear that in mind, because actually this is ridiculous. If we're all honest with each other, it's weird. To me, it's weird. Like, no, let me not bait somebody up, because I was going to say something and no. But I just think it's funny how men will turn around and be like, oh, I'm 50 odd, but I don't date women my age because they don't look after themselves. Why don't you help them, Mr. Motivator? Why don't you help them? Help them! Oh, they don't look after themselves. What? Yeah. So I tend to find that because the women your age don't look after themselves, you miraculously found yourself dating people who are at least 15 years younger than you are. There was nothing in between there. There were no women between those ages that were going gym the way that you were going gym. You couldn't find them. No. It's giving delusional. It's giving emotional immaturity. Because you know that the women your age will ask of more from you and you are not willing to meet them where they're at. So you'd rather go towards people that you feel like are more impressionable and malleable emotionally and mentally. So you'll go there instead. The women my age, they don't really look after themselves. If you don't shut the fuck, God. Sorry. I just needed to get that out. Gosh. Needed to get that out. What was I going to say? Obama tweeted something and I read it and I just thought, well, whatever. What is it here? Tennessee House GOP expels 2 Democrats in retaliation over gun control protests on sad day for democracy. 2 Democratic members of the Tennessee House of Representatives were expelled while a 3rd member was spared in an ousting by Republican lawmakers that was decried by the trio as oppressive, vindictive, and racially motivated. Protesters packed the state capitol on Thursday to denounce the expulsions of Reps Justin Jones and Rep Justin Pearson. All Justins, gosh. And to advocate for gun reform measures a little over a week after a mass shooting devastated a Nashville school. Jones spoke about the actions of the House of Republicans by saying what happened yesterday was a very sad day for democracy. The nation was able to see we don't have democracy in Tennessee. Jones confirmed if he is reappointed to the seat by the 40-member Nashville Metro Council, he would serve. I have no regrets. I will continue to stand up for my constituents. Nashville City Council member Ross Bradford told CNN's Alison Camerota that he would be voting. That he would be voting to send Jones back to the State House. That is who the people of the House of District 52 elected this last November. And so it's very important that, unlike my state legislature, I will listen to the voice of my constituents and I will do what needs to be done to support democracy in this state. Following their expulsion, which House Republicans said was in response to the representatives' leadership of gun control demonstrations on the chamber floor last week, Jones and Pearson called for protesters to return to the Capitol when the House is back in session on Monday. Rep Gloria Johnson, who is white and wasn't ousted. I don't like how they capitalize white. CNN, I don't like how you capitalize white, but I'll keep that to myself. Well, I've already shared it with you, so it's between all of us now. She wasn't ousted. Slammed the votes removing Jones and Pearson, who are black, as racist. Asked by CNN why she believes she wasn't expelled, Johnson said the reason is pretty clear. Okay, Gloria, I'm going to let you have that. Well done, white girl. Well done. I'm a 60-year-old white woman, and they are 2 young black men, Johnson said. She added that Pearson and Jones were questioned in a demeaning way by lawmakers before their expulsion. President Joe Biden on Thursday called the expulsions shocking, undemocratic, and without precedent, and criticized Republicans for not taking greater action on gun reform. Who is the president of the country, Joe? What did you do it for, Joe, if you're not going to do it? Joe, Alma, check your batteries. Joe, wake up. I know that you need 17 naps in a day, but if you said that you want to run this country, you're going to have to run it. Yeah? How are you out of the loop? Oh, it's terrible what the Republicans are doing. So you're just going to sit there and do what exactly? Go and get another facelift? Like, what are you doing? Quickly, answer. Vice President Kamala Harris, whenever I see her name, I want to say Amalate Atiewedu Harris, traveled to Nashville Friday to advocate for stricter gun control measures and highlight the importance of protecting Americans from gun violence. She also privately met with Jones, Pearson, and Johnson. We understand when we took an oath to represent the people who elected us that we speak on behalf of them. It wasn't about the 3 of us of three of these leaders, Harris said in remarks to after the meeting. It was about who they are representing. It was about whose voices they were channeling. Understand that. And is that not what a democracy allows? What led up to the expulsions? Well, after a shooter killed 3 9-year-old students and three 9-year-old students, I don't even like them, the children, 3 9-year-old children, God, and 3 adults at a private Christian elementary school in Nashville last week. Jones, Pearson and Johnson staged a demonstration on the House floor calling for gun reform and leading chants with a bullhorn. Jones said he and the other lawmakers had been blocked from speaking about gun violence on the House floor that week, saying that their microphones were cut off whenever they raised the topic. Following the 3 representatives' demonstrations, the Republican House Speaker Cameron Sexton called their actions unacceptable. Go fuck yourself, Cameron Sexton, and argued that they broke several rules of decorum and procedure on the House floor. Do you know what we care about? Not rules, children staying alive, people not being subject to mass shootings. That's what we care about. On Monday, 3 resolutions were filed seeking the expulsions of Jones, Pearson and Johnson. The 3 members had already been removed from their committee assignments following the protest. I just think it's wild that when you're speaking truth to power, you get punished and you get literally thrown out for doing so. Like, it's common sense. And I really hope that while Pluto's in Scorpius over the next 20 years, that these gun control measures do come into play in the US, because you don't need to have a gun. You don't. What do you need the gun for? What logical reason can you give me that you need the gun for? You need it for the raccoons and you need it for the bears? Well, you wouldn't if you weren't on land that you've stolen. You really wouldn't. If you lot all went back to your ends, like trace your family tree back, because I think that you can. I mean, you denied other people that, but you can. Like, the raccoons are tired of you. You're telling me about mountain lions. Why? Why are you around there? Leave the people then with their things. There's no logical reason why you need a gun. Oh, to protect my property. Why do we live in a society where you think that your property can be taken from you? Oh, is it because there's a disparity in terms of living conditions for people? So why don't we make the living conditions for people more equitable? And then you wouldn't need a gun to protect your property, because other people would have their properties too and everything would be fine. And maybe you've actually just been socialized to believe that there are people that want to come and take your things and take your things and take your things, because the people who socialized you to believe that took other people's things. Take that in for a moment. Whew. So I guess that's all I wanted to say regarding So You Mad? Well, no. Obama then tweeted, "This nation," or whatever, "was built on peaceful protests." I was like, girl, respectfully, shut up. That, like, I can't stand when people do all of this revisionist history bullshit, but when black people do it, black people who are meant to be intelligent, black people who were once presidents, that's going to annoy me. Don't do that. What nation was built on what? Bloodshed is what the nation was built on. Slavery. Talking about colonization, it was peaceful. Was that peaceful? About this land is your land, this land is my land. No, bitch, this land is my land. Don't start singing. Like, imagine somebody rolling up on your land and going, "Hey, this land is your land. This land is my land." No. It's not our land. It's mine. You don't even go here. You don't go here. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay? So, yeah, people like Obama, all of these people, stop doing that. We need to make America the true democracy and make it great. Just get out. And if you're not going to get out, like, the people who should be speaking up on that land are the people who built it. So yeah, black people, I want to hear you. Yeah. People of other races that helped build the country. Yeah, fine. But the native people of that land, I feel like they should be the loudest. But you know, by the by, last for then Straw of the Week, aka Suck Your Mum. Straw of the Week goes to the Ritz Hotel in London. They like to think they're fancy. They like to think that they're beautiful, but they're not. They're old, outdated. There's, other places far cuter. Somebody must have told you that you were beautiful one time, but you are not, okay? The Ritz apologizes after candidate for job was told Afro hairstyles were banned. The Ritz has offered an unreserved apology to a job candidate who was sent a grooming policy banning Afro-style hair. Jarrell Jules, 29, was in the final round of the application process when he read an outdated copy of the rules around personal presentation. He was due to attend a face-to-face interview for the dining reservation supervisor job yesterday when this came out. This didn't come out yesterday, but you get what I mean. But pulled out after being shocked and disappointed to read the small print in the rules for staff. The Ritz later said the document had been sent to him erroneously and it is committed to a policy of inclusivity and equality. The world-famous hotel reacted after Mr. Jules from Hammersmith, West London, raised the issue, saying the rules were damaging to Black people applying for roles. The wording in the policy for men and women forbade unusual hairstyles such as spiky/afro hair. Before the apology was made, Mr. Jules told Metro that he no longer felt comfortable attending the interview at the 5-star hotel in Piccadilly. He said, "I was super excited to begin with, as the Ritz is considered to be one of the most prestigious luxury hotels in the world." He's cute. Aww. "I was preparing for the interview a few days ahead on Sunday when I thought I'd look at the grooming policy and I was taken aback by it. It specifically states no unusual hairstyles such as spiky or Afro style. The word Afro itself is obviously indicative of Africans, and after reading that, I don't feel comfortable going to the interview." The policy was updated in June 2021, so this is not something that was written 10 or 20 years ago, and I need you to take that in. This policy was updated in 2021. That was after the Black Square summer of 2020, when all of the organizations said that they were listening and learning. The Ritz said, I have neither listened nor have I motherfucking learned, okay? 2021, I don't want to see a single Afro. If I see a coily, if I see a 4C, they need to get the fuck out. Get out. Wow. He raised the concerns about the grooming policy with the Ritz, and in a letter to Hammersmith MP Andy Slaughter, what a name, Mr. Jules wrote, "I am deeply troubled by this policy as it perpetuates harmful stereotypes and undermines the self-esteem and confidence of Black individuals. As a young Black man, I have always been proud of my natural hair and consider it to be a part of my identity. However, this policy suggests that my hair is not acceptable in the workplace and reinforces the notion that Black individuals must alter their appearance to fit in with mainstream culture. The policy has had a damaging effect on me personally, as it has hindered my confidence in pursuing a career in the luxury hospitality industry. I believe that all individuals should be judged on their qualifications, skills, and abilities, not on their appearance. Discriminatory hiring practices have no place in our society, and it is important that action is taken to address this issue." Mr. Jules told his constituency MP that he had been shocked and disappointed to read the policy and felt it implied that individuals could not wear their hair in a natural and unaltered state. In a statement, the Ritz said, "On investigation, we have discovered that an out-of-date and incorrect grooming policy was regrettably sent to Mr. Jules. We have been in contact with Mr. Jules directly to offer our unreserved apology for this error and are happy that he has agreed to reschedule his interview with us." Jules. Anyway, we look forward to having the opportunity to meet Mr. Jules in person at the hotel later this week. The Ritz London does not condone discrimination of any form and are committed to a policy of inclusivity and equality throughout the hotel. Where is the new form? Where is the new file? Where's the new document? This one you updated in 2021. So where is the one that you did in 2022? Where is that one? This one was sent erroneously. Where is that one? Because you lot are liars. You're liars. You're liars from the pits of hell. You're liars. Oh, sorry, no, that wasn't the one that you were meant to get. No, sorry. Oh my God, awkward. You were meant to get the one that says, listen, little monkey, you're not having this job. You and your afro hair. It was also meant to include monkeys. So sorry. And the thing is that just because it's not written doesn't mean that we don't know what you lot are doing. And this is the whole reason that the Halo Act exists, and or the Halo Code is it, and then the Crown Act exists. Because it should be like, you should be able to be fined. You should be able to have your shit shut down if you discriminate against people who are seeking employment or anything of the such based on their hair. You should not be allowed to run your things. Like, he went for that interview. I would have been going for compensation in one way or another, but whatever. Because it's not like they denied him the job, but I would have, the Nigerian in me, I would have gone to the interview for them to reject me, so then I can now take issue with the fact that you also said here that that Afro hair is not allowed. I'm going to take your coins. I will take your monies. You idiots, the Ritz. You absolute pricks. Disgraceful. But we know that that's the way that a lot of this stuff works. We know. It's just sad to see it in 4K. Well, it wasn't 4K because I was reading it. Well, you know what I mean. Anyway, I guess that's it for this week. I've really talked, and I need to get to my yard and finish celebrating the day that Christ rose like a beautiful piece of hard dough bread, or a loaf of hard dough bread. That would be more appropriate. And not the Christ that allows Marcus Houston to date much younger women. Not that Christ. We don't know the same Christ. But yeah, I guess that's it. Another episode done. I did that. I really did that, and the video didn't shut off. Yes, I'm done. Woo! That was brilliant. So I guess the next episode will be of the live show in New York, I believe. I could be wrong, because sometimes I just say things. It might be a double whammy of an episode, or it might be an extremely long episode. Who knows? But I'll have your things for you when I return. And until then, I hope that you enjoyed this episode. Like, comment on Spotify, comment on YouTube, comment wherever you like, write some tweets, do some things. Sometimes you lot like to be quiet. I see the same people all of the time doing the things. And that's why I'm taking those people out to dinner here and there, and not you lot, the silent majority. All right. So remember, you can get your tickets for the live show in September. That's going to be at the Barbican. You can pre-order my book, Edge of Here, on everywhere. You can pre-order it now. Well, unless you're in America, but I'll get back to you on that one. And yeah, I think that's it. So I've been Kelechi Okafor, and this has been SYM, officially known as Say Your Mind, unofficially known as what? That's right. Suck your mum. Peace.
It's the Benz Brunani womanist, baby boys, baby girls, you need to hear this. Sit down, receive this realness. Make sure your cup's ready for the tea, we are go sip it, yo. Hard time scrolling for your long throats. You might learn something you never know. Kelechi fine, and she's one of a kind. Don't say your mind, say your mind.